Appeals Chamber finds that the holding of confirmation of hearing in absentia, even without an initial appearance, is consistent with the object and purpose of the statute.
Well, it's a natural environment, as you can see, my backyard with maize, so you don't have to worry about what sounds in the background, the animals and the rest. I received an email newsletter direct from the International Criminal Court, that's ICC, on the news about the case of Joseph Kony. The title is Kony Case, ICC Appeals Chamber confirms the decision on the criteria for holding confirmation of charges, hearing, proceedings in absentia. The Appeals Chamber of the International Criminal Court, ICC, or court, delivered its judgment in the appeal of the defense for Mr. Joseph Kony against the decision of pretrial chamber 3 of 29th October 2024. Decision entitled Decision on the criteria for holding confirmation of charges proceedings in absentia. The appeals chamber in this appeal is composed of Judge Haden Balsuren Damdien, presiding judge, who read a summary of the judgment in an open court hearing, and Judges Solomi Balunji Bosa, Kimberly Prost, Joanna Connor, and Gocha Lord Kibanidze. The appeals chamber confirmed pretrial chamber 3's decision that the ICC Rome statute allows for the confirmation of charges, hearing to proceed in absentia without requiring a suspect's prior initial appearance in circumstances in which he or she cannot be found. The appeals chamber found that this interpretation is consistent with the object and purpose of the statute, and that it is not incompatible with the rights of the defense. It is found that indeed the ICC Rome statute provides adequately robust safeguards to protect the suspect's fair trial rights, even in cases where such an initial appearance has not taken place. The appeals chamber thus confirmed anonymously that impugned decision. So the decision stands. The decision stands that the hearing proceedings will continue in the absentia of Joseph Kony. Joseph Kony's whereabouts is also something which is dimming like light. Several hundreds of Acholi who returned from the Central African Republic and were interviewed by Lanier or Mega FM. They all say that Joseph Kony, they themselves even don't know where Joseph Kony is. But some sources also indicate that Joseph Kony plans to vanish in case his mission fails. Some sources from the returnees. Now, we don't know whether this could mean he would commit suicide or the claim of accessing spirits would make him just disappear. That is something which will leave everybody in the black box. Thank you.
Therefore, appeals chamber rejects defense's argument in this respect. Under the third ground of appeal, the defense claims that the drafting history of the statute and the rules show that the pretrial chamber's citation of Article 61(2)(b) of the statute finds no basis in the intent of the draft. The defense admits that drafting history of Article 61(2) of the statute and Rule 122 of the rule supports that drafters intended to exempt the confirmation hearing, not the initial appearance, from the requirement of the accused presence. The appeals chamber rejects this interpretation. The placement of the wording subject to at the beginning of the Article 61(1) of the statute rather than the end of the provision tends to suggest that very need for surrender or voluntary appearance are subject to provisions which regulate in absentia confirmation proceedings. For the reasons set out in further detail in the written judgment, Appeals Chamber rejects defense third ground of appeal. This brings us to the end of the summary of the Appeals Chamber's judgment of today. For these reasons and for the reasons stated more fully in the written judgment, the Appeals Chamber rejects the appeal and confirms the impugned decision. The present judgment is unanimous. I would like to end by thanking all the parties, attendees, participants, and their counsel and registry staff who have assisted with today's hearing. There is a lot of work that goes behind the scenes to ensure that these hearings run smoothly, and the Appeals Chamber is very grateful to all those involved. I would like to thank my colleagues, the judges, and the Appeals Chamber staff for their support.
All rise. Veuillez vous lever.